Or you know what? I decided if you watch this far, I might as well talk about the comic book a little bit about the plot. So it starts off, where she's a kind of reluctant hero. So she doesn't want. She's just a stoner girl. She likes playing video games. She likes snowboarding. She's a little bit of a tom girl in that she kind of based on my girlfriend a little bit. My girlfriend loves doing all those kinds of things: RC racing, video games, snowboarding. Just very outgoing, and I love it because we have a lot of fun together. But she's also has her sensitive side and stuff like that. But she's just really not, you know, I'm taking the, typical thing that, marijuana makes you lazy and stoned. Although she's not like always lazy and stoned, but sometimes she just wants to sit there and just play video games. She doesn't, she wants to have fun. She wants to do things. She doesn't care about saving the world. And how she gets her superpowers is that some mysterious man, I'm going to leave that kind of like that for now. A mysterious man shows up in her life and offers her some, like of the greatest weed that she'll ever try. And so she decides to try it, and it gives her superpowers. Now, I know that sounds kind of stupid, but it's made to be a parody of a typical trope of comic books where, Spider-Man gets bit by a radioactive spider and gets spider senses and, kind of like the powers of a spider. It's stupid when you think about it. But it works in the comic book. But it's kind of corny, the way that he got his powers. And a lot of these older comic books, the way that people got their powers are kind of corny like that. Fall into a radioactive, waste, and you come out, whatever. It's kind of dumb. But so yeah, the weed looks all kind of like radioactive, like neon, just like crazy looking weed. And so she smokes it because it looks so beautiful and crazy. And then she gets these superpowers. Now, the superpowers aren't like really weed related, but a little bit. So, for example, one of the powers that she has is she learns is that she can turn to smoke. In this case, of course, pot smoke. But this allows her to, travel through things that smoke can travel through. And while she smokes, she's pretty much invulnerable. She can't be hurt or harmed. Um, she has other superpowers too, like, typical just enhanced strength, enhanced durability. So, if she gets shot, it still hurts her and gives her bruises and stuff, but it's not going to penetrate her skin. It's not going to kill her. But it's not going to bounce off of her like it does Superman. It's actually going to knock her down and bruise her. It's going to hurt, as if she's wearing armor or something, or a bulletproof vest or whatever. So she's going to have other superpowers too. I'll leave that for later on. But the thing is that she is forced into the superhero thing. Her best friend's a kind of a nerdy character. And her friend really loves. I haven't decided whether this would be a guy or girl. I think it's to be a girlfriend though, not actually like girlfriend, but a friend that's a girl. And anyway, so her friend's kind of nerdy and into like hacking and computers and stuff like that. And so tries to convince her that, hey, you need to use your powers for good and like actually help people with it. And she's like, just she doesn't care. She doesn't want to do none of that. She's like, she'd rather use her superpowers to, like, just get some money to pay rent and stuff like that. And she doesn't want to be rich, so she doesn't like go out and like try to like rob a bank or anything. She's not like a bad person. But so yeah. Anyway, that's all she wants to do is just kind of use her powers here and there for fun. And her friend gets kidnapped basically because they get kind of caught up into this conspiracy, and because of her hacking skills and whatnot. And that's where like the story really starts kicking off, and she's forced into the superhero kind of thing to save her friend, to use her powers to save her friend. And then from there on, she slowly starts to realize that maybe more people need help, and she kind of is forced into that role, not forced, but kind of pushed into the role by her friend to be that reluctant hero. And that's kind of the setup. So, all right, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, look out for the comic book. I think it's gonna be cool. If you guys have ever seen my writing before in my comic books, I did most of the drawing for End of All, and that's on masterpaintingnow.com, or you can go find it at endofallcomic.com. The link to masterpaintingnow.com is in this link to the description of this video. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, you can just click that link, and then you'll see the link to my End of All comic book on that site. But if not, then end as in END, all ALL. So end of all comic.com. Hope that's understandable. And it's a really cool comic. It's for a long time it was in the top on Top Web Comics. It was in the top 50, and then I kind of stopped having time to work on it all the time, and didn't work on it for quite a while. I think a couple years, and then I started getting back into it again. and then I lost like 30 pages, and that really bummed me out. I don't know how that happened. I was transferring data to a thumbnail, so I wouldn't lose it, and somehow all the data in my thumbnail was just gone instantly. And then I couldn't find it. Those 30 pages were just gone. And then also they were gone on my computer. I even used FBI software to try to get back, and it was gone forever. Just could not get it back. It was crazy. Those other 30 pages, I have no idea what happened to them. That really bummed me out. So I was set back. I was on like, because I was on like say page 64 or something like that. Then I was set all the way back to 30. Now we're back on like page 70. So then I started hiring artists to help me out. And one artist in particular did some pages, and they were all right. They're not the best. We went to black and white. I work in color, but still they look really, really good. Then I found this really good artist, and what a real godsend that was. And he did a lot of good work. And I did a few pages here and there and I think I mentioned it in the description. Hey, I drew this page, whatever. And then that guy kept going on vacation all the time. And so then I found another artist that's really, really good. I like him. He's really fast. So hopefully he can finish it for me really quickly. It cost me, $25 a page. So it cost me, I have to put up one page a week. It cost me $100 a month for something I make no money on at all. It's really just, I put it out there to show my storytelling skills, and then also show some of my own artwork that I do on it now and again. And a lot of it though now is just not me anymore doing the artwork anymore, but I still, occasionally do a page here and there. All the beginning of the comic was all me, all the color stuff. That was old me too. That was years and years ago. I do a lot better work now. You can see some of my black and white work that I did. And anyway, so the stoner girl, I won't have time to work on myself, and I would love to, but like this picture here I did of her. So I'll do all this like design and concept of her and stuff like that, and then I might do a few pages here and there. What I'm thinking about doing is have the guy work in a much less black, so just doing more of like almost like an outline type of inking work for me, and then I can take it and print it out, and then do a watercolor, like print it out and then trace it onto watercolor paper, and then do a watercolor coloring of it, and then take a photo of that and put that online as the final piece. And I'll have that way I can have large files as well. So if I ever decide to print it out on paper, a paperback version of it, which I would plan on doing, then it'd be available. With End of All will never be a paperback version because I didn't do large files. I only did internet size files for it, so I have no large files to actually print. So that will always just be an online thing. But this one I want to make it to be, anyway, it's to be good. And I know the story kind of sounds, something like the way she gets power sounds corny, but it's gonna work. It's gonna be funny. Like there's a lot of cool little, especially people that read a lot of the older comic books, a lot of kind of little puns and stuff, and cool little jokes and parodies, is kind of making fun of a lot of the comic book tropes out there. But at the same time, it's to be a serious story, with a lot of ups and downs, So yeah, if you want to get an idea of how my stories work, again, check out End of All. And also have a best-selling novel. Well, it was a bestseller for a little while there, and anyway, it's called Bending Nature, a new kind of vampire novel, and it is very different from any other kind of vampire you've ever read about. Just read some of the reviews. It's got really good reviews, and yeah, so that's also linked on my website, masterpaintnow.com. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I know the last bit of it was just me talking, but hey, what can I say? I wonder if I should like extend out some of the video clips to be a little bit longer during this part instead of just a still image. I think I'll do that. Just take one of the parts of the video and just extend it out to where it's not like sped up so fast or something. All right, so yeah, if you guys have anything you want to see, please let me know, and I'll make that happen for you guys. All right, thanks.